Are you thinking about moving to Warrenton, Virginia? Well, you found the right real estate channel. My name is Chris Colgan with EXP Realty powered by Place, and I am a real estate agent here in the state of Virginia. But before I get going, are you gonna subscribe to my channel?
Yes.
Are you gonna text me at the number below if you're thinking about buying or selling a house?
Yes. Yes.
Great, so let's get right into the video, the pros and cons of living in the beautiful area of Warrenton, Virginia. Maybe you're working for the FAA, you're gonna be transferred out there, you got another job in the area, or you're just looking for a place a little bit further out from Northern Virginia and you wanna get a little bit of a country setting and a nice rural area setting. Well, Warrenton would definitely be the place for you. So let's talk about the pros first. Like, why should you consider Warrenton? Why would you want to move there? Well, as you can see in some of the drone footage here I have, Warrenton, number one, is simply beautiful. It is an amazing area. Tons of like farms, mountain views, wineries, breweries, there's all kinds of things to do, but it is one of the most beautiful places in Virginia, particularly Fauquier County, which Warrenton is located in. And this used to be more of a really rural area, but it's definitely starting to grow up here with a lot more subdivisions and all that coming in. But the area around there is simply stunning. You can drive around and see different horse properties, farms, and a lot of history, which is kind of rare in the Northern Virginia area. So that is definitely a pro to the area. My second pro is the downtown area. I just love, you can see here in the video, it is really charming. You have a lot of local restaurants. You can walk around on the weekend and do some shopping, maybe stop by Harvest Bread and get some homemade bread there and cookies, whatever you want. Clearly I eat a lot of cookies. But you can walk around there the weekend. They close the streets off sometimes and have different fairs or different like farmer markets and things like that. And they have an awesome, amazing, historic looking courthouse. So the downtown area is simply beautiful. I've had a lot of clients that have just wanted to live near there and just to be able to walk there on the weekends or go to a local bar or do things like that, or a local restaurant. And I've sold a lot of houses in that downtown area just for it. It has that old town Americana feel, and it's got to be constantly named one of the best small towns in the state of Virginia for sure. So if you're thinking about living in Warrenton, you're just checking out the area, definitely on a Saturday or Sunday, drive through that old town Warrenton and check it out. It is simply stunning. My third pro is there's plenty of housing options. There's a couple different condo neighborhoods, and then there's a couple different townhouse neighborhoods. And then you get into some single family neighborhoods where the single families might be, typical HOA and all that, and the single family prices might be from $500,000 to $700,000. Or you can get into $1 million horse properties, but there are plenty of housing options, starting all the way from like $250,000 for like a condo to $300,000 to $400,000 for a townhouse. And then, like I said, you get above $500,000 for a single family. Or in the Old Town area, you might be able to get an older, charming single family for $400,000, but plenty of housing options for sure. Like, one thing to consider if you are thinking about moving out there is the 20186 zip code. That's gonna be more towards like the Old Town Warrenton spot. The 20187, where the FAA is, or the Vent Hill area, they call that the DC side of Warrenton. So that's gonna be a little bit more closer into like Gainesville and Haymarket and commuting from 29 up to 66. But speaking of Route 29, one of my cons, the highway there, Route 29, there is a ton of accidents on that road. Every weekend when I'm driving to the lake or going to Warrenton to visit some friends, I always run into some sort of accident, and the road gets stopped, and the traffic there can get really backed up. That road is due to be expanded, but I think they have fought the expansion on that road a few times. Now you can cut through 66 and go down through the town of Marshall and then come into Warrenton that way if you don't want to do 29, but that road for sure is a con because it gets really backed up. Another con, as I mentioned, is the housing prices can be pretty expensive. A lot of people will message me and say, hey, I'm thinking about moving to Centerville or Gainesville Gainesville, but I want to check out Warrenton because I went somewhere a little bit cheaper. And what I end up telling them is, honestly, Warrenton is not that much cheaper than Gainesville or Haymarket or even like a Leesburg. It is still pretty expensive out there for being a little bit further out. So it is not really a cheap place to go buy a house. A popular neighborhood in there is called Brookside, which is near the Vent Hill area, the 20187 zip code. That neighborhood in particular is pretty expensive. It's on par with the prices in Gainesville and Haymarket, but that would be a great neighborhood to check out. Another charming neighborhood that I really like is Snow Hill. I have some friends that live in there. That's a little bit of an older neighborhood and has like a wooded feel and some more like acre lots and things like that. So definitely text me at the number below if you are thinking about buying a house in Warrenton. I know the area really well. And then another con to me is it is definitely far from DC. So if you're thinking about commuting from Warrenton into the DC area or maybe Arlington or Alexandria, you might want to rethink it because honestly 66 has pretty much just been extended to Haymarket, and that was a big project and they added hot lanes. But other than that, once you get past Haymarket, it kind of goes back into being 2 lanes and you kind of get off there on Route 29 in Gainesville and you head out towards Warrenton that way. So the traffic there from DC can be pretty bad and it can be a long commute. So if you're working from home or something, there's certainly high-speed internet out in Warrenton, but it can be pretty far. So I hope you enjoyed my super quick video on pros and cons of living in Warrenton, Virginia. If you have any thoughts on that, comment below. My last video I did on Warrenton, I had a lot of people commenting and I always reply. So definitely comment. If you do have some real estate needs, shoot me a text like I said, or email me, Chris Colgan at colganteam.com. Would love to work with you and help you. I help tons of home buyers from my YouTube channel, so definitely subscribe. And as always, I'll see you at the top or from the top.